There's nothing better than having a cup full of stuff, right? And when you build the kingdom, it's like you kind of sprinkle it on somebody. You know, you're doing this, pouring it out on some people. Maybe you're a parent, right? And you're pouring it out on your kids. Maybe you're a spouse. You have a spouse, and you pour it on your spouse, and you love on them, and you give them praise, and you help them out. Or maybe you're just doing a ministry, and you're pouring out, you know, and everything like that. And usually what happens when you do that, right? You pour it out, and then you go to your spouse, and you wait for them to pour back into it, or to give you a compliment. Thank you, I really appreciate that for what you did, right? But what happens with your spouse? Oftentimes, man, they don't even notice it, right? Here you are busting your butt, doing all these things for your kids, doing all these things for your spouse, doing all these things for the church. And pretty soon, man, your cup is just empty, and you're begging. You need it to get filled back up to keep going, right? But those people that you're serving, that you're helping, they're not complimenting you. They're not praising you. They're not pouring back into your cup, all right? If that's you, can I challenge you to reorientate your cup to this way, to upwards, and let God fill your cup? Do it for Him, right? Man, I tell you what, I've done it this way and got burnt out. Got burnt out. And when I reorientate my cup and I realize who I'm really serving my wife for, who I'm really serving my kids for, who I'm really doing ministry for, and He pours into that cup, man, that's where it's at, right? Let the God of the universe fill your cup, and you'll be sprinkling it all over everywhere to everybody else. In fact, let me read a passage for you. This passage, man, I love this passage. It's found in Ephesians 3:14. You don't have to turn there, but you can write it down. Ephesians 3:14. This is Paul's prayer for the church at Ephesus, right? And check out this prayer. For this reason I kneel before the Father, from whom His whole family in heaven, that's us, right? And on earth derives its name, that's us. I pray that out of His glorious riches He may strengthen you with power through His Spirit in your inner being, right? So that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith. And I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, may have power, together with all the saints, to grasp how wide and long and how high and deep is the love of Christ, and to know that this love that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled to the measure of all the fullness of God. Amen? All the fullness of God. I don't know who that's for. Maybe it's a spouse. Maybe it's a mom. Maybe it's a dad. Maybe it's just somebody working in the church, but your cup's empty right now. Let Him fill you, all right? Let Him fill you. Don't depend on any person. I will never fill my wife's cup like God can, amen. Right? You didn't have to amen it that hard, all right?